Folks, I'm not speaking to the left on this one because their intellectually enlightened mush brains can't comprehend what it is to disagree with their fearless supreme leader, Joe Biden. Nope, today I'm speaking to all of you, to arm you with information that will confirm what we already know. Joe Biden is either incompetent or a liar, or both. Hey everybody, thanks for joining me one more time for Things That Need to Be Said. The show apparently so dangerous that the big tech powers that be shadow ban my accounts every time I come out with one of these. If you're watching this on YouTube or Facebook, stop. Head over to Rumble and watch it there, because the other platforms don't deserve our patronage any longer. For MRC-TV, I'm Nick Kangadis. The media, while they have at times sporadically reported somewhat fairly on the Afghanistan debacle, have also tried to play defense for old Joe.
President Biden stands firm on his decision on Afghanistan, while Republicans pretend that they got everything exactly right for the past 4 years.
The president, for what he was dealt and what he's done over the course of the last week, should be congratulated on the way this was done. He's done an extremely good job in this situation.
This is a story that will fade from the headlines, and eventually, maybe it not be right away, eventually Americans will even give him credit.
That being said, Joe Biden is incompetent.
True international effort to pressure.
And a liar.
Why the you lying? Why you always lying?
Or at least the people who control him are. I'm going to break down just a small portion of his speech from Tuesday for you and give all of you the ammunition to prove it to those sheep who blindly follow their establishment leaders and call you stupid for not doing the same. During his aforementioned speech, Biden said the following.
In April, I made a decision to end this war.
No, Joe. No, you didn't. We already had a deal with the Taliban, brokered by Donald Trump's administration, that guaranteed our military withdrawal from Afghanistan 14 months after the agreement was signed, which would have been May 1st of this year, and was contingent on the Taliban not violating their part of the deal.
We had conditions attached to how we were thinking about this withdrawal. I was part of those negotiations. I was also in the room when President Trump made very clear to Mullah Baradar, the senior Taliban negotiator, that if you threatened an American, if you scared an American, certainly if you hurt an American, that we would bring all American power to bear to make sure that we went to your village, to your house. We were very clear about the things we were prepared to do to protect American lives. And indeed, since we began those negotiations back in February of 2020, there wasn't a single American killed by the Taliban.
And when the U.S. originally signed the deal with the Taliban in late February of 2020, the Daily Caller reported that one Trump administration official familiar with the deal said the following, quote, "If this all blows up, that's unfortunate, but fine, we'll just start killing them again," unquote. But because the left and the Biden regime felt it their patriotic duty to erase every Trump deal or law made during that administration, simply because he was Donald Trump, the Biden regime were the ones to break the deal with the Taliban. And we've all seen the results of that decision, all because the left wants to put their stamp in order to revise history. And remember when Biden said this in July?
The Afghan government and leadership has to come together. They clearly have the capacity to sustain the government in place. The question is, will they generate the kind of cohesion to do it? It's not a question of whether they have the capacity. They have the capacity. They have the forces. They have the equipment. The question is, will they do it?
Okay, that's all well and good, but how can you be certain while simultaneously being uncertain of the same capability? If you're questioning whether they would lead and sustain the government in place while at the same time saying they have the capability to do so, then you can't be all that certain of those supposed capabilities, can you? Right after Biden said that he was the one to make the decision to end the war in Afghanistan, he said this.
We set the date of August 31st for American troops to withdraw. The assumption was that more than 300,000 Afghan national security forces that we had trained over the past 2 decades and equipped would be a strong adversary in their civil wars with the Taliban. That assumption that the Afghan government would be able to hold on for a period of time beyond military drawdown turned out not to be accurate.
Are you calling yourself a liar, sir? Or are you saying that the information you received after you had already made poor decisions, especially breaking the initial deal, were inaccurate? Again, he's either incompetent or a liar. And slightly earlier in his speech, Biden called the mission in Afghanistan an
extraordinary success.
Which part? The part when the Taliban took the country completely over in a matter of hours? The part where your regime turned down the Taliban's offer for our military to secure the city of Kabul and said they can have it? The part where you then trusted the Taliban to secure the airport only for ISIS to slip by the Taliban and set off multiple suicide bombs that in turn killed 13 U.S. Marines? The part in which we essentially gave the Taliban countless amounts of U.S. weaponry and machinery? The part where the U.S. issued a strike on ISIS only to reportedly kill an entire innocent Afghan family? The part after our military was completely out of the country only to see the Taliban use American weapons to fire in the air in celebration? Or the part in which we still have hundreds of Americans still in Afghanistan because they couldn't get to the airport since the Taliban took their passports and wouldn't let them in? Which part was an extraordinary success? Please tell me when you're not napping or calling a lid or not answering questions or when it's simply pudding cup time.
Well, we're waiting.
Was the part when the families of the murdered soldiers, upon their return to the States, wanting nothing to do with you because their blood is on your hands or your watch, an extraordinary success? You, sir, have no business leading a poll on favorite ice creams, let alone leading the greatest country on the planet. It's almost as if you and your handlers are doing everything you can to diminish our standing within the world for some kind of elitist establishment power grab. You can work around, massage, and twist the truth all you want. We see you, and you're a disgrace to this country, sir. But hey, folks, at least the left doesn't have to deal with mean tweets anymore, am I right? So, what do all of you think out there? Were these things that needed to be said? Let me know in the comments below, where I do read most and reply to some. And don't forget to switch over and watch these videos on Rumble rather than the big tech platforms. If you like this video, don't forget to share, comment, and give it a thumbs up. Those are the best ways to help these videos reach more people, and it's the best way to let us know you want us to keep these videos coming. Subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell so that YouTube might actually let you know when MRC-TV comes out with a new video if they haven't censored it or taken it down yet. Like us on Facebook and check out more of our work at MRCTV.org. For MRC-TV, I'm Nick Kangadis.